in water. It's in water. It's in water.
Why, you look good?
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're heading to the West Coast for this one. It's early September, 2025, and detectives in the Hollywood Hills just stumbled onto something horrific. A corpse turned up in the frunk of a Tesla sitting in an L.A. impound lot. The ride was registered to a 20-year-old indie sensation, David Anthony Burke. You probably know him better by his stage name, D4V, spelled D4VD. Within days, headlines ID'd the victim as Celeste Hernandez, a teenager from the Inland Empire who'd vanished back in early 2024. So, how did we get here? David's a 20-year-old American singer-songwriter who blew up online. Back in July 2022, his track, Romantic Homicide, went absolutely nuclear, racking up millions of fans. But fame can be a double-edged sword, and soon, he'd be trending for all the wrong reasons. On September 8, 2025, the LAPD rushed to a tow yard in the hills. Workers there reported a stench, that undeniable smell of decay wafting from a black Tesla with Texas plates. Cops popped the frunk and were hit with a nightmare scenario. There was a body inside, badly decomposed and stuffed into a bag. Turns out, that electric whip had been sitting on a Hollywood street for weeks before getting towed. It didn't take long for the law to trace the VIN right back to David. Here's the kicker. Nobody reported the car stolen. It was just left there. By September 16th, the L.A. medical examiner dropped the bombshell. The remains belonged to 15-year-old Celeste Hernandez. The tragic part? She'd been a missing person in California since 2024. Back then, she was only 13. Due to the advanced decomposition, the coroner couldn't pinpoint exactly how she died right away. Detectives did confirm one thing though. Celeste had been trapped in that vehicle for a long time before anyone found her. That's when the LAPD's Elite Robbery Homicide Division stepped in. Police sources leaked to the LA Times that the investigation was heating up. They executed a search warrant at the Hollywood Hills crash pad where David was staying. During the raid, they hauled out a bunch of computers and electronics. Authorities kept their cards close to the chest, emphasizing that this was still an active case. 0 arrests. The police even went on record saying they haven't named any suspects yet. As for Celeste, she was just a kid from Lake Elsinore, a quiet spot in Southern California's Inland Empire. According to the cops, she disappeared from her hometown in the spring of 2024, though some whispers suggest she actually vanished around Valentine's Day. So, while she was 15 when they found her, she would have been a terrified 13-year-old when she first went off the grid. Authorities mentioned she had a history of running away, but every previous time, she made it back home safe. Once the ID was made, disturbing details started trickling out. Investigators noted a specific tattoo on her right index finger, a shush symbol. Put a pin in that, it's crucial. Celeste's family later claimed she was involved with someone named David, and her brother confirmed to the press that, yeah, his sister knew the singer. Like I said, the robbery homicide unit took the reins the moment that body was identified. They're officially calling it a death investigation, though insiders are treating it like a murder probe. But, and this is key, David hasn't been named as a suspect in any official capacity. His PR team insists he's working with the police. But let's be real, the second this news dropped, his reputation took a massive hit. Insiders confirmed that David scrapped the rest of his US tour dates immediately. Sponsors and collaborators started jumping ship too. Even some of his own friends publicly cut ties with him. The day after the ID, the internet went full detective mode. Forums and social feeds lit up, proving that David and Celeste definitely had a history. Exhibit A, Discord logs. In one chat, David asks if Celeste is present, and she pops up with a casual, "Hi David." Then there's a weird reply simply saying, "Bark." In another thread, fans are grilling the chat about whether David's taken. Multiple users chime in, confirming, "Yeah, he's dating Celeste." Then, on a social media post, a fan jokingly asks David to adopt them. David plays along, but he tags a user with the handle 0907. He comments, "Should we?" Now, that number 0907 matches Celeste's birthday, September 7th. Then there's a resurfaced tweet from May 10th, 2022. It reads, "As I wrote this, you popped up on my screen talking about missing your mom and sister." It continues, "Take me home. But our situation makes it impossible right now. We just have to push through. Some online sleuths think this implies Celeste might have been pregnant, or at the very least, David knew exactly what she was going through. Once the scandal broke, footage started circulating of David with a mystery woman. One clip shows a girl in pink pants who looks a hell of a lot like Celeste. Here's where it gets spooky. People notice both David and Celeste rocked that same shush tattoo on the inside of their right index fingers. Remember, that ink was used to identify her remains. Recent photos of David from 2025 show an identical mark. You have to ask why the matching ink? The evidence piling up suggests their connection is pretty much indisputable. The public reaction? It's been all over the map. Plenty of folks are flat out calling him a killer, while others are pumping the brakes, noting there's no smoking gun linking him to the actual death yet. Still, the internet is demanding answers. Given the massive age gap and the nature of their bond, accusations of grooming are flying left and right. However, defenders point out a solid alibi. David's tour schedule puts him nowhere near LA when the body was found. He was booked for a show in Minneapolis on September 9th, with other Midwest stops around that time. This public timeline suggests that he was rocking a stage hundreds of miles away, while that Tesla and Celeste's body was sitting in an LA impound lot. Online detectives are convinced he didn't act alone, suggesting he might have hired a cleaner to move the vehicle, dispose of the remains, or sweep the whole mess under the rug. But law enforcement hasn't validated that angle at all, and frankly, there is zero physical proof pointing to a second pair of hands. Still, the camp convinced of David's guilt has a darker theory. An accidental pregnancy led him to either take her life or order the hit himself. Let's be clear though, that is pure conjecture right now, so we need to be careful about treating rumors as gospel until the gavel drops. The rabbit hole goes way deeper than just theories, though. Sleuths started digging and unearthed a seriously unsettling exchange on Discord. David was posting about refusing a collab with Billie Eilish, prompting a fan to reply, "Drop the one with a missing girl, Celeste Hernandez." Shockingly, it seems that track actually exists. A bootleg demo surfaced on the web titled Celeste, allegedly featuring David's vocals, and the lyrics are absolutely chilling. It starts, "Be my Valentine, I want to play Cupid. These are the thoughts that cross my mind. Just because, just because." Then it gets specific. "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. Hear her voice each time I take a breath. I am obsessed. Oh, Celeste. Afraid you'll only love me when I'm undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much it makes me depressed, but I digress. I love you so, so much. I love it when you hold me, when you cry. Just because. Just because." Keep in mind, Celeste was only 13 when this was reportedly recorded. While some listeners hoped it was an AI deepfake, the consensus among the fanbase is that it is undeniably David's voice. That isn't the only track raising eyebrows. Let's talk about Decide. The verse goes, "I decide, you decide, we decide. We can't go back. Can we just take our time? Save your tears. 7 years. I know life is complicated." It continues, "You don't have to say no more. We both have to find a way to make it work. My head is aching, and you're the one who started this." Here's the kicker. At the time of that release, Celeste was exactly 7 years away from turning 18. That line, "Save your tears, 7 years," feels less like a rhyme and more like a countdown. The coincidences keep piling up. David's 2022 hit Romantic Homicide dropped on September 7th, Celeste's exact birthday. Then there is the track Here With Me. The hook, "I don't care how long it takes, as long as I'm with you," is being viewed in a completely new, darker light. People speculate he was openly singing about waiting for her to become legal so they could take their relationship public. It begs the question, how was he so bold about it? Why didn't anyone intervene? Where were her parents? These are the burning questions, especially since their connection seemed to be an open secret on the web. An incredibly creepy Reddit thread recently resurfaced where a user explicitly called David out, stating, "This guy is a weirdo." They claimed a friend's younger sister from the Inland Empire ran away to be with him the previous year, alleging her own sister was trafficking her. The girl was only in 7th grade. The poster mentioned the LAPD, raided his Hollywood Hills home and expressed terror that the girl might have been hidden in the car, noting she hadn't been heard from in months. They withheld her name due to her age, but pinpointed her origin as Lake Elsinore. Naturally, another commenter jumped in to debunk it, writing, "I strongly doubt this is true." The defender argued that his crew was clean of minors and that venue staff in Torrance always spoke highly of David's character. They warned against fueling a witch hunt with baseless rumors. The original poster fired back immediately. "This isn't speculation. It really happened." They added, "I don't care about the nice things you've heard. That doesn't invalidate my personal, negative experience." Adding fuel to the fire, a live stream clip recently popped up showing Celeste and David interacting. You can hear him say, "I media trained you." She retorts, "No, you didn't." He replies, "That's controversial." She shoots back, "It's controversial of kids." He stammers, "No, I need really good." Suddenly, he cuts it off. "It's been a good one. Bye." Then, to the audience, "Bye, guys. Moi." But then, panic sets in. "Oh my, delete everything. Delete." He repeats frantically, "Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes." Another piece of footage that fans are analyzing is this interview segment. The interviewer asks, "Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?" David answers, "Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year." The host interrupts, laughing, "Why are you saying that? You're not up there yet, gang." David clarifies, "I'm not there yet, but hopefully it gets even crazier next year." He continues, "Then I go crazy year after year for the next 3 years, and then, on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint, I'm just gone." He effectively outlined a plan to cash out, disappear, and vanish to an island, which sounds incredibly suspicious given the current circumstances. Fast forward to late 2025, and the file is still open with more riddles than solutions. Forensics teams are still tearing apart the Tesla and cataloging evidence from the raid on David's property. Detectives are retracing Celeste's final steps, scrubbing through neighborhood CCTV footage and canvassing the area where David was living at the time. Publicly, David's camp has gone radio silent, aside from confirming they are cooperating. He hasn't spoken a word personally, but he did disable the comments section on all his profiles. Police are begging the public to reach out if they have even a shred of information that could crack this wide open. At this stage, everything is on the table: unknown partners in crime, alternative suspects, or completely unrelated predators. Until the handcuffs come out or the case closes, the reality of Celeste's fate relies entirely on what the official evidence reveals. Internet theories should always be viewed with skepticism. However, the elephant in the room remains. Why was a grown man hanging out with someone Celeste's age in the first place? That question demands an immediate answer. Since the news of Celeste's passing broke, fans have been re-evaluating David's brand, specifically his obsession with mortality and violence. His stage presence was defined by morbid aesthetics, wearing costumes that looked like funeral suits or clothes drenched in fake blood. Back then, people wrote it off as edgy artistic expression, but in hindsight, that imagery feels significantly more sinister. Online sleuths on Reddit and Twitter aren't buying the artistic excuse. They argue this dark aesthetic wasn't just a vibe, but a window into a genuine, disturbing fixation on taking lives. And the receipts are damning. Leaked logs show David admitting he prefers graphic content over normal intimacy, confessing he has been hooked on it since childhood with the blunt message, "I love gore." The most chilling part is how meticulously David left a paper trail for all of this. He was practically waving red flags in our faces, featuring her on streams, getting tattoos, and writing ballads about her. It was all hiding in plain sight. Let's break down the timeline. March 2022. He drops a track with the lyric, "Save your tears, 7 years a countdown," to when Celeste would be of legal age. May 2022. David tweets about an 11-year-old girl wanting to be taken where I belong. That age matches Celeste perfectly. July 2022. The track Romantic Homicide is recorded and the video drops on Celeste's 12th birthday. October 2022. David asks a private server if Celeste is online, and she pops up in the chat. Fast forward to December 2023. They record a song and photos of the pair emerge. March 2024. Chats leak about him seeing a girl named Celeste. By April 2024, she vanishes. That was the last time her family saw her alive. August 2024. Messages surface requesting a song about the missing girl, explicitly naming Celeste. September 2024. She turns 14, and the first photo of the shush tattoos is revealed. September 2025. Celeste turns 15. Shortly after, the story ends in tragedy when she is discovered lifeless inside David's Tesla.